Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Renee. If you're new here, definitely subscribe. I'm taking on a challenge. I got really inspired by one of my favorite creators here on YouTube. She's doing a 30-day challenge. I want to do a 30-day challenge of my own. I'm going to do 30 videos for 30 days all about how to raise your self-esteem and concepts related to that, similar to videos I've already created on my channel. And if you want to be in the loop, hit that notification bell so that you see when I'm uploading, because I will be here for 30 days straight with you guys. And you know that's like my channel's purpose, is to raise the self-esteem of women. Today, for the first video of this challenge, I want to talk about learning from the mistakes of other people. And again, like, I feel like the most wisdom comes from just like the most simple things. And I feel like our brain sometimes just doesn't register things when we hear them so often, but nonetheless, like, there's still a lot of truth in those concepts. Like, for example, how many times do we hear be grateful? Like, we hear be grateful all the time, but it almost starts to like lose its meaning and lose like the root of why it's important. But it doesn't take away from the truth that gratitude is like the way to be content and the way to like have a more positive attitude in life, you know what I mean? So again, this is one of those concepts that I think is really simple, and we've probably heard it, but it's so true. And I feel like there's a specific word that describes this phenomena. I think it's called provision. I think it's provision. No, it's not provision. It'll come to me later. But it's basically the idea that like you think about the future before you take your actions. And I wish I could remember, because now it's gonna bother me, but that's basically what Prudence, maybe it's Prudence. Anyways, this is like an English major problem, like always wanting to find the right word for everything you're saying. But I think it might be Prudence. Correct me if I'm wrong, and if you know the word, put it in the comments. That could be fun. But basically it's about like thinking about the consequences of your actions before you do them, thinking about the future and where one step will take you before you do that thing. And it's almost like an unnatural thing to do, because we're very much like focused on the short term, you know, because we just want to like get through another day, you know, like we have challenges, this and that. But there's something to be said about how important it is to practice like that prudence. And I feel like a good way to practically implement this in life is to learn from other people's mistakes, so that you don't make the same mistakes, so that you avoid the consequences that that person's mistakes brought them. And I feel like this is something that I've just learned through observation. And it's not like I think I'm perfect, or that I haven't made the same mistakes that I've seen other people make before. But I'm just learning that this is a pretty good way to like navigate life and life's difficulties, is to just have that like wisdom to like avoid the failures that you've seen other people have, if that makes sense. So one of the things I learned from a young age was that being angry and like holding on to like a lot of resentment and bitterness like can make you A, crazy, and B, can destroy relationships and just leads you to being really unhappy. I saw this from like a personal example from very, very young, and I saw how that really affects your life, because you're just deeply unhappy, you become more lonely, you can't maintain relationships, you always think someone has done you wrong, and it just really holds you back. And it sucks because but at the same time, like, again, it's an observation, so I see why that happened, and I see how anger, you know, it makes people feel more powerful. If, you know, it's like a false sense of security that you've like you've conquered the situation, like if you have that like righteous anger and that like indignation. But if you hold on to it too long, like it really can cause harm on you, like that same like energy turns on you. And if you're a spiritual person, it's kind of like, you know, you're embracing that like energetic spirit. It's kind of evil, you know, deep anger for a moment and it's working, and then eventually that same demon turns on you and makes your life hell. And I've seen that. So I learned from a young age that, and I didn't even realize this has been like a major life lesson for me until recently, that I don't want to be that person taking out my anger, my frustration, my negative emotions, basically my stress, on other people, because I know what that feels like. So that's an example of me learning from somebody else's mistakes and, you know, observing the consequences that it had on them, because all I see is, you know, just broken relationships and deep unhappiness and a lack of joy, which is our right, you know, and that's not how God intended us to live. So, and I feel like it's just something that I have to keep implementing in life. That's probably the biggest thing that I've learned, but I've also seen and try to avoid some mistakes that I've seen people make with money. As I'm on my own journey of learning how to manage money, how to create something of myself, you know what I mean? Like, managing it is just as important as learning how to like earn it. So I've learned from mistakes from other people as well, and it's just like an important skill set to learn from the mistakes of other people if you want to be wise, like if you want to be exceptional and like high performing, and do it for yourself most of all, just to give yourself that kind of security and trust in your own judgment. So that, and that just translates to so many different areas of life, self-esteem being one of them, also, you know, confidence and, you know, the motivation to like go after your goals. Learning from other people's mistakes is just a huge thing that we all should practice doing so that we can live our best lives. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a like, leave me a comment, and let me know if you understand what I mean by how important it is to observe and like implement that in your life. I feel like that's almost a task of like writers, especially because writers are like, they start out as just people that are observing the world around them to like a higher degree. I think I feel like writers are just like deeply observational and they're like contemplative, and I feel like that's a quality that I have for sure. So let me know if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you for my next 30 videos and my 30-day challenge, and they're all going to be centered around topics like this that are going to help you raise your self-esteem. And in addition to this fun news, I also have my Wisdom in Dark Paradise journal that's designed for people who are new to journaling, who want to start on their journaling journey. I didn't even mean to do that, but journaling journey, it's kind of cute. And they don't know where to start. I have a 5-day kind of written workshop style ebook that you can purchase in the description below. It has prompts for 5 days, and it kind of gets you in that state of like writing and exploring like your inner feelings, and especially focusing on the theme of like wisdom, because I feel like that's so important, and it's just something that I'm learning is a character strength that you gain from just going through hell shit, basically. So that's my offer right now. I'm looking to sign up 4 people for one-on-one coaching, and this is just a more personalized version of what I'm doing here on YouTube. So if you're interested in working with me for private mentality coaching, send me a DM on Instagram, DM me the keyword star, and I'll get back to you. And my Instagram is rncta, RENEEECITA. So DM me the word star, and I'll send you more information about this current offer, only for the month of September. And I know it's kind of short notice because we are in the last week of August, but that's just how it goes sometimes. So leave me a like, leave me a comment if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you for the next 30 days.